And good afternoon. Welcome to season 5, episode 10 of the Leaders Only digital show and podcast. I am your humble host, Samaj, and we're waiting on my brother Kendall. He'll be here in a second. We're brought to you by What a Change Mentoring and Tone Drone, and we have a very diverse and exciting show today. Some great news in Spartan Town down there in Norfolk. We also will be talking about tributes. So please invite your friends, your family members to come on in, dive in, check out the Leaders Only show on YouTube, have a watch party, subscribe, comment, like, follow us. And if you just so happen to miss us, you can also hit hashtag replay in the comments. And don't forget to hit that bell, man. It helps us, it keeps us in the algorithm, and it helps us get more streams so we can get this word out. Above all, thank y'all for being here each and every week. It's been a tremendous ride as we move along to season 5. We do have news, so we will be getting into the news right about now. See if my brother is there.
Yes, sir. Give me 1 second. I'm about to get y'all right. Sorry about that little technical difficulty, but in the news, we have a 17-year-old Marietta, Georgia mother charged with death of a newborn baby. A teen was arrested in connection to the death of her newborn baby in Marietta, Georgia. Police responded after receiving reports of a possibility newborn infant death. When officers arrived, they found a baby death at the residence. Investigators worked through the night collecting evidence and said the mother of the baby, 17-year-old Leticia Rodriguez, was arrested and taken to Wellstar Kingstone Hospital for treatment. Rodriguez was seen digging the hole in the backyard 6 hours for 6 hours after giving birth to a little baby boy. Rodriguez's uncle witnessed the backyard digging and called the police. Police did see her digging a hole in the backyard to, to bury the deceased infant, but the infant was never actually buried. Her charges stand: felony murder, felony aggravated assault with a weapon, concealing a death, um, abuse of a dead body, abandonment of a dead body. She also was charged. Hold on. In abandonment of a dead body. I'm sorry. The mother admitted to the police she had used a sharp knife to remove the umbilical cord from the newborn's neck after birth, causing a large laceration on the infant. Also, allegedly admitting to using a pocket knife to cut out the deceased infant's heart. Upon her release of the hospital, she will be placed in custody without bond at the Cobb County Adult Detention Center. Man, so I'll tell you my
Yeah,
thoughts on this drink. Um, First, you can clearly see that she got a lot of mental issues or a lot of things going on, which she didn't really want to have a baby. Um, I could kind of see that she probably felt like she didn't have nobody to talk to, or was either keeping it a secret from the jump or something like that. But it's a crazy story, and it always piggybacks on the past episodes that we have about children having children and things of that nature, and just the wrong guidance probably. Um, I just hope that this family can get justice, um, and I hope she gets help. That's mainly prayers out to her family, but hopefully she can get some help through all of this. What you
yeah, I
think, bro?
definitely. I mean, I agree. It's a lot of moving parts that they're probably gonna have to get to. She probably felt scared, probably felt alone. I wonder if she was under some type of drug influence at all. Um, those type of things. It seems like she had some type of mental illness, but then again, you never know. You never know who the father could have been. Was it a family member? Was she raped? All those type of things. She didn't. I can't say she didn't have a way to the hospital or anything like that. It's just tough because we live in 2024, and I don't know if she had a cell phone. When you ignorantly thinking And just thinking offhand, you would assume that, she had a cell phone, she could call 911. I don't know what type of uh, community that she lives in, like if it was somebody close where she could run to for help. All those things play a part. I do pray that she does get help while she is incarcerated. And I pray that she repents for what she did, because no child deserves to be um, not given a chance to live. So she definitely stopped a life of a beautiful baby. But I pray that they get to the bottom of the story, because the details, they really don't matter. So my heart goes out to her, the family, um, and that baby. May the baby rest in peace. But I just pray that they get to the bottom of the story and that they get all the facts right, and that she just heals while she does her time. And then,
Right, right, man. So much prayers out to her family, and let's just get to the bottom of where her mental is at.
hmm
The next story, it was a body found hidden in a concrete refrigerated, um, like in a trash can or something. So I'm gonna go ahead and give y'all this story. Uh, Sandra Brown's body was found near an apartment building in Northeast on October 18th, but it's not clear how she got there, how she had gotten there. Police were called after construction workers found an unfamiliar smell. The workers found a refrigerator in a dumpster being used to be held for construction debris. Brown's remains were inside encased in concrete. The refrigerator came from the third floor in an almost empty building. The exact cause or whom is yet to be involved with this situation has not been determined yet. The Dumbbell High School alumni will be remembered for her writing talents and always wanting to help the homeless. She fell on hard times and caused in which caused her to be in unfortunate areas and harmful situations. Prayers go out to her family, and I hope that once again we find full justice in this situation. Um, Now in this case, I elaborate on this. This is like probably like a fourth time just me alone hearing stories like this in DC, in the DC area, and
hmm
it's real big on homeless people out there in the areas, and they start cleaning up that type of like the tent and the things like that in certain areas. Um, I kind of seen like on one situation when she got into when Sandra got into it with the with the government or the mayor or something like that when they was changing that for moving the homeless. They can't set up their tents and things of that nature, and she was kind of upset. But I kind of feel like she fell on hard times, and um, she just felt like she probably ain't had no help or whatever. But which caused her anger towards the mayor from the interview that I seen of that. But for the most part, man, DC is an easy area to get trapped up in. Um, Whether you lose your job or anything. I just seen people lose their job and never come back from it.
hmm
It's a it's a lot of opportunity, but at the same time, it's easy to get swept up in drugs and things, negative things. Put it like that. So I just pray that that wasn't her case, but for the most part, man, we just pray for justice for that situation as well. What you think, bro?
Yeah, a lot of moving parts. I wonder if there was any addictions. My main question is to wonder why she didn't go back. If she felt like things were getting too tough, why she didn't go where with her kids. That would be my first question. Or if she came back and it just got too rough, then why didn't you go after then? That's my main concern. When it comes down to uh, mental health, I know that these people aren't eating right. Even probably in the case with the young lady that's 17, and if you're not eating right, you don't even have a chance in your mind, controlling your emotions, evaluating situations, de-escalating situations, making rational choices. With this, she's a victim. You know what I mean? So I just wonder why did she want to choose to live in those conditions, or was she doing it for an experiment? Was she going to write about it? Um, was she just trying to make a stand and be an advocate for people because she knew that she had somewhere to go? When we talk about homelessness in the United States of America, it's tough because it seems like we have so much money for so much other things, that it's a slippery slope. You know, we spoke about homelessness in our initial episode this season, and it's tough because yeah, you get the people who, you know, may have fell on hard times, or those who have been, you know, raped or outcast or something. But it's just tough for me. It's hard for me to realize, or to just fathom that you don't have anyone, like, out of this whole world, that you don't have not just one person. And the reason being is because in this case, I would assume that she had somebody. If the mother was willing to take the children, I know that she could have went there. um, but homelessness, it shouldn't be this prevalent, you know, in a time like now where there are so many smart and wise thinkers. We are in the nation's capital, so there would be, you know, some ideas to just putting some programs together that's just more than shelters. Shelters are not enough, but above all, we have to find some grounds to find some safety within the city. So I just pray, you know, that justice comes in that situation, and above all, I pray that the children, along their journey, that they get the proper support and get a support system, because it's going to be tough. We don't even know where their father is, so that's another thing to think about. Right now, I'm gonna assume that he's not in the picture. I assume she was a single mother. So I pray that he steps up. That this is an opportunity for them to come together, and if they weren't a family before, become a family now, because those children are going to need the biggest support system that they ever could get. It's hard to live life without a mother. I can imagine. Yeah.
So with that being said, man, as always, man, we want to encourage y'all, man, to do things that's positive. You know, um, continue to pray, continue to find things in your spare time, like to stimulate your mind, man. Try to release some of the toxins that you have in your body. It don't have to always be just like a food fast, man. That means releasing out your anger by talking to somebody, or going out to do something positive, or going out to do an exercise or an event, or anything that can be peaceful to you, bring some peace to you. Um, that can open up the door for somebody else to see that it's other avenues to go when you're down, and when you're depressed, or when you're in the mind state of feeling like failure. Um, we
Right.
have our own emergency line, so you can always hit 988. Don't hesitate. You know, what you get? What you think, bro? You got anything for 'em?
Yeah. I mean, definitely in those terms, self love is definitely the route. Read, and apply. You know what I mean? Get control back over your life. But fasting is one of the best things you can do in all facets, not just food. Um, you gotta get away from the wrong people. You gotta get out of the wrong environment. If you have to stop listening to certain music, watching certain stuff on TV, as we're coming up on a new year in the Gregorian calendar, and then in March we'll have a new year. Um, Hit the goals. You know what I mean? I often ask, you know, what happened to those resolutions? You know what I mean? Staying goal driven allows you to stay disciplined, stay obedient, keep you upbeat, having some confidence, having some wherewithal, giving you some value to your life, allowing you to realize that you're here for a reason. I often, always, and forever will push people to just go find your purpose and get lost in it. That's the best thing you can do. We all were born with a purpose. So do that, man, and it at least, you know, get you on the good foot. Moving forward, as I said at the beginning of the show, man, it's a great time if you are a Spartan. As you can see, man, I'm a proud Spartan. Just for what's about to take place, Michael Vick has been hired as the Norfolk State university football coach, the head coach, after 25 years after leading Virginia Tech to brink of a national title. Of course, they dropped that thing to Florida State back when I was a fan, but Michael Vick was a outstanding quarterback attempting to bring that championship now to football at Norfolk State. It's been a while, man, since we had a MEAC championship or CIAA championship. So as the Norfolk State head coach, Vic and NSU agreed to these terms this past Tuesday, and with an introductory news conference expected to come this week, coming probably it'll be tomorrow. Vic, Newport News native, and a four-time NFL Pro Bowl attendee. In 2001, the Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Vick with the number one overall pick from the NFL draft, and he also played for the Eagles, New York Jets, and Pittsburgh Steelers. In 2006, his final year with the Atlanta Falcons, Vick became the first NFL quarterback in history to rush for over 1,000 yards in a single season. Only Lamar Jackson and Justin Fields have done so since. Vick is now 44 and he's never coached, which would make this staff composition paramount. Vic has already reached out to the potential assistant coaches and support staff, and some of the hirees will be familiar fans. We definitely know that our assistant coach will be Elton Brown, Big E, out of University of Virginia. Definitely supported the El Capitan brand along our way. So definitely got love for Big E. That is a tremendous pickup. He was an NFL lineman as well, so he's coming with some more experience. During Vic's NFL career, he played two of the sport's renowned active coaches in Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin, two great coaches, in 4 seasons with the Eagles and under Andy Reid from 2009 to 2012. Vic twice established career highs for passing, and as the Kansas City Chiefs head coach in 2017, Reid hired Vic as a training camp intern. Uh, I think my heart is really into teaching the game of football. In 2017, Vic told ESPN, Adam Schefter. And I feel like I've learned so much from so many great coaches over the years. I don't want to bottle up all of that knowledge, and I really can't relay the messages that I want to relay to a high school kid because you can't be as complex. Um, he also said that he gets that. And so, at the collegiate level or the professional level, you can express your ideas and you can go into detail. You know, you can coach hard, and that's what he wants to do. My thoughts, as I said, I'm excited, I'm proud for multiple reasons. One, I often say, you know what I mean? I did go to Norfolk State, but I don't rep Norfolk State for the school just being the school. You know, I rep my relationships. The Norfolk State family is a really close knit family atmosphere. We don't, go all crazy for the celebrity status. We are our own celebrities. The relationships that we built for so long, and mounting that and becoming a part of that on the social side with doing the events, playing football, keeping the morale up, being an intricate part of the Spartan community. This is big. You know what I mean? If you were able to see what Deion Sanders did in Jackson and what he's now doing in Colorado, then you get the magnitude of what Michael Vick and who he is and what he's done. His reputation definitely speaks for itself. I also big up Norfolk State for giving him an opportunity because we do know that, your reputation and things that you do in the past can go with you. But for them to step out and give him an opportunity, where most people probably wouldn't. They would be hung up on the PETA situation, the dogfighting situation, as if somebody can't be forgiven and make up for what they done in the past. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just happy to see him get a fresh start, especially in coaching at a HBCU, and none other what better way than to get the Spartan stadium filled up week after week. I've never seen our stadium, sold out every single week. We deserve this by having one of the biggest stadiums in HBCU. And we've been to the MEAC. Our program had been on the run for a minute and then it went back down. So to see the resurgence and above all to see that Peninsula District now, they're going to come across that water. So now it's not just going to be Southern Hampton Roads. Now you're going to get the peninsula. It's going to be tremendous for recruiting. being as though now that the NCAA has changed, you could make a pit stop at NSU just because you want to build a relationship and play for Michael Vick, and then you can continue to go back to a Power Five or so, and then go to NFL. I think this is big. I think it would be cool in the recruiting to get kids from Green Run, Maury, Phoebus, Warwick, Hampton, and so forth, opposed to them just automatically going to Virginia Tech and going to Alabama or chasing to go here and there. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting also to see what the MEAC does, because the MEAC had been losing its juice for a while. So I'm just interested to see, are we going to stay in the MEAC, where we're going? And above all, I want to just see how I can contribute, because like he said, being able to work on the college and the NFL and the professional level, he can get more complex. Again, I know the game, love the game, but that mental health side. So as I continue to do what we do as Spartans over at Green Run, definitely going to extend my hand, to the coaching staff once it's formulated and they get everything under control. That's what Zoe and I do, and we are former players, and we know that walk very well, and we know that community very well. So I'm looking for it. I'm looking for the Mike Vick effect. You know what I mean? I'm looking for cool NIL deals. I'm looking for homecoming to be increased. I'm looking for the all white to be even better. I'm looking for the city and the area just to be able to build new stuff, because this is going to increase the revenue in a tremendous way, and it's going to be actually cool. You know what I mean? Even though I'm not in the entertainment and stuff in that capacity any longer, it's still going to be cool to know where we come from, to see ESPN and Stephen A. and those type of people hit the campus, for Saturday, football and picks and games picks and stuff. So it's going to be cool, and I feel like it's well deserved, because no matter what, I'm an alumni. I gave my time. I graduated, and I'm interested for the new history that's about to be created. So all in all, big shout out to Norfolk State University for pulling the trigger and doing something this monumental. Big shout out to Michael Vick for taking the position, and I'm just excited to see where we go from here.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. Yeah, so congratulations to Mike, man. It's always it's always dope to have somebody from our area come through and do it. You get I'm kind of they family in a different way. As far as back in the day, I used to help out, cook for them, things of that
Hmm.
nature, and mess with Marcus back in the day. So yeah, it's always good to see them do something well and get recognized in a good way. So hats off to Norfolk State, Michael Vick. Welcome.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed, man. And moving forward in the news, man, we want to give a tribute to Nikki Giovanni. She just lost her life. A historic and legendary poet. Nikki Giovanni was born in Knoxville, Tennessee on June 7th, 1943. She passed away peacefully on December 9th, 2024. For almost 6 decades, Giovanni's poems, prose, and speeches gave us an imaginative, fearless, unadulterated voice. She was a poet and activist, teacher, and television host, highly sought after public speaker and Grammy nominee. In 1987, Nikki Giovanni was recruited to teach creative writing and literature at Virginia Tech. Didn't know that. Retiring 36 years later as a university distinguished professor and beloved member of the River Valley community. Here's one of her poems, Rosa Parks by Nikki Giovanni. This is for the Pullman porters who organized when people said they couldn't, and carried the Pittsburgh Courier and the Chicago Defender to the Black Americans in the South so they would know they were not alone. This is for the Pullman porters who helped Thurgood Marshall go south and come back north to fight the fight that resulted in Brown versus Board of Education. Because even though Kansas is west, and even though Topeka is the birthplace of Gwendolyn Brooks, who wrote the powerful The Chicago Defender Sends a Man to Little Rock, it was the Pullman porters who whispered to the traveling men, both the blues men and the race men, so they would know what was going on. This is for the Pullman porters who smiled as if they were happy and laughed like they were tickled when some folks were around, and who silently rejoiced in 1954 when the Supreme Court announced 9-0 decision that separate in inherently unequal. This is for the Pullman porters who smiled and welcomed a 14-year-old boy on their train in 1955. They noticed his slight limp that he tried to disguise with a doo-wop walk. They noticed his stutter and probably understood his mother wanted him out of Chicago during the summer when school was out. 14-year-old black boys with limps and stutters are apt to try to prove themselves in dangerous ways when mothers aren't around to look after them. So this is for the Pullman porters who looked over the 14-year-old boy while the train rolled the reverse of the Blues Highway from Chicago to St. Louis to Memphis to Mississippi. This is for the men who kept him safe. And if Emmett Till had been able to stay on a train all summer, he would have been maybe grown a bit of a paunch, certainly lost his hair, probably have worn bifocals and bounced his grandchildren on his knee, telling them about the summer riding the rails. But he had to get off the train and ended up in Money, Mississippi, and horribly, brutally, inexcusably, and unacceptably murdered. This is for the Pullman porters who, when the sheriff was trying to get the body secretly buried, got Emmett's body on the northbound train, got his body home to Chicago, where his mother said, I want the world to see what they did to my boy. And this is for all the mothers who cried. And this is for all the people who said never again. And this is about Rosa Parks, whose feet were not so tired. It had been, after all, an ordinary day until the bus driver gave her the opportunity to make history. This is about Mrs. Rosa Parks from Tuskegee, Alabama, who was also the field secretary of the NAACP. This is about the moment Rosa Parks shouldered her cross, put her worldly goods aside, was willing to sacrifice her life so that a young man in Money, Mississippi would have been so well protected by the Pullman porters, would have not died in vain. When Mrs. Parks said no, a passionate movement was begun. No longer would there be a reliance on the law. There was a higher law. When Mrs. Parks brought the light of hers to expose the evil of the system, the sun came and rested on her shoulders, bringing the heat and the light of truth. Others would follow Mrs. Parks. 4 young men in Greensboro, North Carolina, would also say no. Great voices would be raised, singing the praises of God and exhorting us to forgive those who trespass against us. But it was the Pullman porters who safely got Emmett to his grand uncle, and it was Mrs. Rosa Parks who could not stand that death. And in not being able to stand it, she sat back down. Rest in peace, Nikki Giovanni. Man, uh, when it comes to Nikki Giovanni and any of our figures, you know what I mean, that they give us that, have done great things in history, we can't do anything but tip our hats. That was a powerful story. The Emmett Till story is always very touching, but it often makes me wonder, like, where is our empathy? Where is our emotional, pull at in today's time? It allows me to know that it's like on a low frequency, it's on a low vibration. I pray that when we lose people like this, that we see that we got to pull together even more. I mean, the lady was a professor, a teacher, a poet, and she did not forget to be an activist. She never forgot about the right for the people. I have my own thoughts and feelings on the heroes that they give us that push that NAACP narrative, which is why I want our people, just individuals, regular, everyday individuals, to take care of themselves, heal, so we can work together. A lot of these organizations, they're not for us. A lot of these stories are handpicked to be pushed to us. For instance, the Rosa Parks story happened plenty of times before. It was this light-skinned lady. So we can't miss the point of just crowning people that they give us. We got to look at the overall concept, and what she wrote about happens to us still to this day. Children are being murdered, lynched, trafficked, abandoned, harvested for their organs. So when somebody writes in this capacity, it just allows you to see that not much has changed, and we're not going to get that change that we need until we make it, till we be the change that we want to see. So definitely nothing but love, and a big old rest in peace to Nikki Giovanni. Send our condolences to her family, but to our people of today living in 2024, as we make that transition into 2025. Um, Please take your self love. Please take the community. Please take your family serious. Make better choices. Eat better so you can make better choices. Um, we got to do something different. Obviously, the ways that were taught to us don't work, so we have to try something different. Let's honor our ancestors that gave their life to write these stories, and to allow us to have certain laws placed for us to live in today's time in the way that we do. So that's what I got for that, man.
Yeah, man. I'm kind of piggybacking off of you, but also it's like you always say, man. We gotta start with self. You also gotta apply what you say and what you're gonna do. I try to live now as structured as possible. I mean, I'm trying to clean up my act, So I rarely point the finger at others because I'm trying to clean up my act myself. But to those who are living in this 2024 nowadays, and for the generation that's coming after us and the generation that's coming after them, um, find somebody that you can really that's going down the right path. Um,
Mm.
not making you a follower, but you got to take guidance from somebody. So if you can find somebody that you can really see doing the right things and following a great purpose, because you're never gonna know your purpose until you figure out what direction you're trying to go. So that's my take on it. And R.I.P. Miss Nikki Giovanni. Man.
Yeah. So yeah, man, like my brother said, hey, one thing about leadership, great leaders know when to follow. That's a great part of leadership. You're not always going to be in the leader position, but great leaders know when to follow and who to follow. And above all, man, get you a counsel before you do something stupid. Even if you have to call a 988 number, but it's always good to find people along the way that have like minds. If you can't find those people, it's better to be by yourself than with five people that ain't going nowhere. Five people that's influencing you to do the wrong thing. Two people that's influencing you. It's better to be by yourself because you're never alone. The Most High is omnipotent. And we got to get back to that. Don't be too fast to not forgive, but you got to learn from it. You got to learn from the mistake. Change behavior is the best behavior. And when we decide to change our behavior in our community and how we deal with one another, by how we deal with our own self, it will project into others. We can't change the world, but we can change our world. So let's do that. And in closing, this is the Leaders Only digital show and podcast live stream each and every Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you joining us for season 5, episode 10. We hope you enjoyed the show. We brought to you by What a Change Mentoring Inc. and Tone Drone. I am Samaj.
And I'm Kendall.
And please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, and definitely if you catch the replay, hit hashtag replay. You can email us at leadersonly22@gmail.com. And we love to hear from you. We'd love to get any comments, topics, any places you feel like we should pop up, any stories that you feel like we should cover. Do send it on over, and we'll see you this time next week. It's been a blessing. We definitely love y'all. And do remember, anything in the holistic world or any clothing, that we carry, please visit mentalhealthchef.com. Meal preps, all that type of stuff.
Yes, sir. And workouts, meal preps, cleaning, residential, commercial, moving, anything of that nature. You can tap in and email us at either one of those sites, man. We'll get right back with you. Any contact that we have up here, any leaders only 22 Gmail, you can hit us on anything, man. We'll get right back to you. Appreciate you. Love, peace, and blessings.